Okay, a recent study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that in all age groups, men reported orgasm rates between 22 and 30% higher than straight women. Okay, let that sink in for a minute. Lesbian and bisexual women also reported higher orgasm rates than their heterosexual counterparts. So researchers thought they would find evidence of the gap, the orgasm gap that is, narrowing as women aged and developed more confidence, but they did not. So Fauzi, are you surprised that this gap persists? Speak to us.
On behalf of all straight women.
Honestly, here's the thing. As the lesbian in the group, I don't experience the gap, the orgasm gap. I have no gap, but...
Gotcha.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But truthfully, I think so much of it has to do with connection, right? It's like the connection that we have to our partners is a huge part of why orgasms are also part of our lives, right? And so what happens, I think, in queer relationships is it is so much more about connection rather than that sort of more traditional heteronormative dynamic between cis men and cis women, women. And so, yeah.
There's power in there?
There's power in there, but there's like respect, but connection, emotional connection. And the thing about the age, we may age and we may get wisdom with age, but it doesn't mean our partner has changed or the connection has gotten better, that emotional connection is there. So I do feel like there's, and also acceptance. Like in queer relationships, it's not just about like what kind of body you have, it's about, you know, who you are is exactly who and what I love. And so you don't need to change for me. Like everything about your natural, authentic self is what I am turned on by.
You know, I love that explanation because I'm struggling with this as, raising a daughter. And for me, it actually goes back to, at least for me, how I was raised as a young Catholic girl. That the idea of even exploring your own body was shameful. It was dirty. We were made to internalize that our bodies are not made for pleasure. They are made for service of other people's pleasure. And so now that I'm raising my daughter, I'm raising her the complete opposite way than I was raised. And we have normalized exploring your body. We've normalized self-pleasure because if you don't know what makes you feel good, if you don't know the way around your own body, how the heck are you going to be able to explain that to somebody else? Or also demand and expect that every sexual encounter should be a two-way street, which is what we're teaching our daughter, by the way. And so, again, I don't know if she's gonna end up straight or gay or what she's going to end up, but I think the idea of normalizing getting intimate with yourself. I did a podcast episode, in my podcast, it was called Adult Sex Ed 101, you would have loved it. And the doctor said every day in her practice, half of the time that she's dealing with midlife women in their midlife, she's handing them a mirror to say, do you even know your way around your own body? And how many women don't know? Where is my clitoris? Where is it? It's a big mystery.
Find her,
and
she's
I
wonderful.
just think to myself, you know,
She's
so
amazing.
we've internalized, unfortunately, we've internalized all the misogyny. And I think we have to kind of, take that back.
Yeah.
Right?
Can I piggyback on that? Because I think it has to do with three things, three words. Fragile male ego. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Women, we are always concerned about our partner and making sure that they're happy. And men are always, and you've probably experienced it with the men that you've dated if you're a heterosexual woman, men are concerned about their size and their endurance. And they're always very curious about how many partners you've had because they want to compare themselves because they need to be the best lover you've ever had. And we lie to them and we go, yes, darling, you're the best lover I've ever had. And because we're always worried about their ego, it's not empowering us in those sexual situations to go, hey, that doesn't work for me. Stop doing that. Can you do it this way? Can we start like this? You always finish first. We don't have a voice. And instead, we just lie there staring at something, a clock, a wall, whatever, and waiting for it to be done instead of speaking up and saying what we really want. And think about it. Think about all the information. We have books. No other generation of women have had this. Books, diagrams, videos, everything, toys, everything, open conversation. We're on daytime TV talking about it now. But look at those stats. That's what's missing. We're still more concerned about our partner and hurting his feelings than getting what we need.
I also think
I don't suffer from that, by the way.
Obviously, I've loved everything everybody's saying, and pleasure is like my bag. I think it's so important for people to talk about, and I also think it does start at a young age. But I think there might be elements of the story that we're also kind of not looking at. One is the nature of this question. The way that they phrased, I'm gonna just get all my glasses because this is the time of life I'm in. They phrased this question in this, when having sexual intercourse, what percentage of the time do you usually have an orgasm? I wonder if they tweaked that question a little bit to say, when having foreplay and sex, how satisfied do you feel afterwards? Because a lot of women don't necessarily associate intercourse with having orgasms. It might be part of the foreplay or the afterplay or whatever. So that's one thing that just speaks to, for not every woman also orgasm is the goal. Like, it might be my goal, it might be
my goal every time. Every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm just saying,
You all, listen, if we don't get to the mountaintop, we're very upset about it.
I just want to normalize for people out there who feel like that is not, like, you know, for certain people of a certain age, they may be looking for a connection in a different way, and that might not be the sole reason. And I also just want to give a shout out to new moms or moms who are in the trenches of having, who are touched out, who are exhausted, who are maybe not necessarily having the kind of sex that they want to. And this is where it does go back to, if you're having heterosexual partners, talking to your male partners, because at that exact time when you're all touched out and exhausted, your partner also might be feeling like a lack of touch and a lack of connection, and that's when you need to use your voice. And that's when he needs to do the extra work to bust out the toys and the whatever, or just be like, you know what, there's other ways to connect, and this might be an orgasm drought we're gonna be in for a while, but we'll see the other side later on. So I just think we have to look at the nuances. Desire is complicated. We go through different seasons in life, and our sexuality goes through different seasons as well.
Yeah, amen.
I love that. And really what it feels like we're talking about is respect. Right? Like if you...
And curiosity.
Right, but if you are like listening and respect your partner and you're willing to go on a journey with them, and whether they're your partner for 5 minutes or 5 years or 50 years, you're in a relationship with a person who is different than you and reacts differently to the world. And when you're in those intimate spaces, if you're asking them questions, like as simple as, are you okay?
Yeah.
How many times would we wish if someone just asked us that question, we would get we would be able to say,
and feel
use our
safe
voice,
enough
feel
to
safe
respond.
enough to say the truth. I'm not okay right now, so maybe we don't do that.
I'm a little
tonight.
too okay, and you need to make me less okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's. I mean, listen, y'all gonna have a fun time having chats after this show today at home. I guarantee you that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.